What y'all doing here? Y'all ain't supposed to be here yet. Go back to the beginning of the video. We'll get back to this in a minute. Bye. Alright, we're back at old Alabama town. It's really hot out today. I don't know if you can tell. I'm drenched in sweat already. Whew. But afterwards, I'm probably going to go get a nice cold beer. But I kind of need something to open the bottles with. My bottle opener broke. So I think me and the guys are going to show y'all how to make a bottle opener. And I think what we're going to do, I got a couple horseshoes, let's make one out of that. Ought to go over pretty well. Alright, so we took a horseshoe and we cut it in half. I showed y'all how to cut steel in the anvil last week, and that's all we did this time around. We just heated it up in the center and we put it on the edge of the anvil. Hammer one direction, hammer the other. I mean, that's all you got to do. If you didn't watch the last one, go ahead and watch it now. But now that we've got that done, normally if you wanted to put a hole in something, you'd have to take a punch, which I've got a little one I made here, and you would work in the steel, you know, find you a good spot, scar it, heat it up real good, you know, a good bright yellow heat, and you would start hammering it through this way until it got almost all the way to the other side. And then you would bring it back around to the other side until you had a good hole in it. But being a horseshoe, it's already got some holes in it. So I'm probably going to use this one right here, and we're going to heat it up, and then I'm going to drive my punch through the hole probably about halfway up, and then flip it over and hammer it through that way until it's the diameter of this, and then I'd walk it up to my next punch, which this one I'm going to have to heat up and straighten out. It's still a little bent from the last time I used it. It happens. So I'm going to go heat this up, and then we're going to pick up from there. Alright, we got the steel heated up good, and right here we got the picket hole on the anvil, the little round one. And we're going to put the steel right over the picket hole, and we're just going to tap it right on in. Alright, back over the picket hole. Uh-oh. I got to straighten my punch out. Alright. There we go. We're up on the shaft of it now. So, I'll try to get this off of here again, because she's pretty good and stuck now. So what we're going to do, now that we're all the way on, we can just simply turn it over, back into the picket hole, and tap her on out. There we go. A couple dressing hits. Alright. Now the hole is about twice, well, probably 3 times the size it used to be. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the next punch and make sure, yep, that's a good fit. So I'm going to step up to this punch and work it out. Now one thing you got to keep track of is make sure that the steel is spreading evenly, because sometimes it'll spread faster on one side than it will the other. So when that happens, what you got to do is leave the punch in there, turn it up on the anvil, and tap that side until it's the same thickness as the other one. So just make sure that she's spreading evenly. Alright, I'm going to heat her back up. Alright, back over the picket hole. We're going to take our next size punch. Get it lined up good. drive her on in. Alright. Now, at this point, what we need to do is flip the steel over. Just like so. She's going to try fishing into that hole. Alright, punch goes back in. Alright, like I said, yeah, it's trying to go to one side. So what we're going to do, well, I'm going to heat her back up first. But if you look right here, she's cutting to one side faster than she is the other on the bottom. So I'm going to heat her back up and I'm going to make that match. Alright, so I realized what I did, and I grabbed the wrong drift. That one was a little too thick. So we're going to go one size down. Uh-oh. I got her stuck in the picket hole. Alright. There we go. That's second punch down. Alright, we've moved up to the larger drift now. Just like before, we're going to line it up over the harding hole. We've had to move up to a bigger hole on the swedge block. Alright. And as you can see, it's trying to warp again. But instead of hammering it back out straight after I get the drift off, what I'm going to do is this next time I'm just going to flip it over on the block and hammer it the other way. So I'm going to get this off of here and we're going to get back to it here in just a second. Alright, now that we got it to the diameter that we want it, what we're going to need to do is make it a little bit more of an oval shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat it up and we're just going to bump it back towards us a little bit till it gives us that oval shape that we like. And then comes the fun part. The way it is right now, it's not going to pop a cap off, so we're going to have to put a tooth on it down here on the bottom side so it'll actually do what it's supposed to do. So I'll be back in just a second once I heat this up. Alright, going to give it a couple little love taps right quick, and then we're just going to take it over here to the horn. We're going to bump it back towards us until we start getting that oval shape that we want. Yeah, see, it's starting to be more oval than it is round. So a couple more heats like that and we'll have it right. Alright, now that I got the opening about where I want it, it's time to put that tooth on there. So we're going to take one of the drifts we were using earlier, we're just going to put it right on the back side of it and chisel down with it. I can get my hands to work right. I'm tired. Alright, we're just going to keep doing that until we have the tooth just the way we like it. Alright, we've about got the end of it hammered down to the point where it would actually start grabbing the bottle cap. Now, all we were doing is we were taking this drift punch, and on the back side of the loop just where the, you know, there's a good meaty part of the steel. We're just hammering it down to where it flattened out that one point straight down to the bottom, and it left a little tooth hanging out. And that's just so that it can grab the bottle cap when you go to pop it off. So here what we're going to do next is on the front end of it, where it's got that little extra piece of steel. Right here, I'm going to hammer that down to an edge, so some drinks have a little foil wrapper on them. Just cut it right off. Just like before, we're going to put it up on the end of the anvil right here. We're just going to hammer it at an angle until we get a good little bevel going. And see how it's starting to cut in. We're just going to keep that up until we got a nice little edge, and then we're going to finish it with a file. So I'm going to do that for a little bit longer. We'll be right back. Yeah, we're not exactly doing it to a knife's edge. We just want it semi-pointed, semi-beveled, so you can trim through foil. So that's about good there. About like so. And I'll finish the rest of that up on the file. And I'm going to dress up the tooth. You see the little tooth we put in there? I'm going to dress that up with a file as well. But we're just about done. Alright, we're going to take our file right here, and we're just going to work on the edges like so until we get a slight edge to it. Like I said, we're not going for a nice edge, so it's not going to take a whole lot. And then I'm going to take a rounded file and work on the tooth, because that ain't going to work too well. So just going to be doing a little bit of this until we get a little edge going. And I doubt y'all want to watch that, so I'll be back when I'm done. What? You've never seen a guy file before? Alright, I've got everything filed down good. As you can see the tooth on there, I've got it nice and squared away and got a halfway decent edge to it. And up here, see how we got a nice little tiny bevel to it. And like I said, it's not sharp. All it's going to cut's foil. It doesn't have to be a razor. But I've gone through with the file and taken all the snags off, you know, the little rough edges. And now I'm going to take a wire brush to it and clean it up a little bit. And then we're going to show y'all how we waterproof steel. Now I'll go ahead and give you a hint. You need to go see your local honey dealer. Very important part in blacksmithing. But anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, so I heated the steel up, and you don't want to get it red hot. I actually got it a little too warm because beeswax. This is how you waterproof steel. This is what makes blacksmithing black. It'll give a good little coating on the steel, and it'll turn it a nice dark black color. Now I don't know if you saw that flash, but like I said, I got her a little too warm. Yep, a little fire. But once she cools off a little bit, and don't worry about the smoke. Beeswax smoke is harmless. Once she cools off a little bit and it starts getting a good coating to it, it'll it's kind of like seasoning a cast iron skillet or a grill top. But you're just going to rub it on there. It's still a little too warm, but once it cools off just a smidge, there we go. We'll start getting a deep color black. And it's going to smoke a good bit. But she'll start sticking and she'll start curing. But this wax right here I got from my sister. She keeps bees. And there's a couple of different places in Montgomery where you can get it, or you can order it online. But you don't need cosmetic grade. You don't need, I mean, you don't even need this fine of quality. I mean, you can still have the little paper chunks in it, you know, from the row and whatnot. But as you can see, she's starting to turn a nice dark color. She'll get a good waxy glaze to her. And once it's all said and done, she cools off. She'll be good and waterproof for a while. You won't have to worry about rusting. On a side note, don't do this over your anvil. You get all these little wax pocks on your anvil, and the next time you go to put some hot steel on there, it splatters all over the place. It really makes a blacksmith mad. I've done it. A couple of my students have done it. And it's a mistake you only make once. But I'm just about done here. As you can see, it's getting a good coating to it. And kind of smells like honey. But I'm going to finish this up and I'll be back with the finished product. Alright, here's the finished product. It's not the prettiest one I've ever made. But I'm fairly certain it'll work. But see how it's got a nice waxy finish to it. It's looking good. So I think we might go and try it out. Be back in a minute. That's good. Welcome back. Y'all finally caught up? Alright, good. So here's the bottle cap opener we made today. Let's see how she works. Like a charm. Alright, tell you what. Right now we're at the craft beer shop in Prattville, Alabama, right downtown off of Main Street, right on the riverfront, right near the fountain. If you're familiar with Prattville, you'll know how to find it. But later on, not today, but here soon, we're actually going to be coming here for a beer tasting and showcasing what all they have here. But in the meantime, make sure y'all come and check it out. It's an easy place to find. So, see y'all next time.